Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about sideboarding with red-black midrange in Historic. We're going to talk about how to sideboard against the top 10 most popular decks in Historic, and hopefully you can use that information for teaching yourself how to sideboard against other decks in the format. Let's jump into it. The most popular deck in Historic is Jund Midrange. Now, there's not a really clean way to do this like I can with Magic Online, because for example, if I bring in Go for the Throat, it kind of brings everything over, but I only have one Go for the Throat in my main deck. So I'm just going to kind of go through these. We'll have to kind of remember. Against Jund Midrange, I like bringing in Unlicensed Hearse. The reason I like bringing in Unlicensed Hearse is because of Jarsil. Denying them of being able to use their best 3-drop is super powerful. Not being able to have them cast cards from their graveyard a ton of times in a row is really, really important. Sometimes they also play Ishkana and cards like that. And worst case, Unlicensed Hearse gets really big, and we make Tarmogoyf really, really small. And then we can end the game with Unlicensed Hearse, which is really strong. So that's 2 cards. I like bringing in the Go for the Throats. Just having a super clean removal to like Tarmogoyf and Crucius and stuff like that is very, very powerful. And I like bringing in the Chandra Hope's Beacons just as like a really strong mid-range game ender. So that is 6 cards. As a rule, discard spells are really bad in mid-range mirrors because most of the time in mid-range mirrors, what's going to happen is you're going to be peeling off the top because we answer each other's threats, and whoever has the best top of their deck wins the game. Yes, on turn 1, Thoughtseize is always good against every deck, even mid-range mirrors, but drawing the Thoughtseize on turn 7 is devastating. So we are going to be cutting our 4 Thoughtseize and 2 Inquisitions of Kozilek's for the 2 Unlicensed Hearse, the 2 Go for the Throat, and the 2 Chandra Hope's Beacons against Jund. The second most popular deck is the Mirror Match. In the Mirror Match, we're kind of taking the same theory, except we don't have to worry about the graveyard as much. So we don't bring in Unlicensed Hearse, but we still bring in these other good mid-range cards like Chandra Hope's Beacon and Go for the Throat. And we have the same theory as far as mid-range decks go. So we are going to be cutting 2 Inquisition of Kozilek and 2 Thoughtseize. So it's 4-card sideboard. The third most popular deck is Mono Green. Against the Mono Green deck, we're really just trying to keep them off their mana and be able to attack as much as possible. Against Mono Green, we're bringing in 2 Extinction Event. Most of the cards we care about are Odd, which is just like, being able to wipe their board is great. And 2 Go for the Throat just has more removal. Often we won't really have time to empty our hand, and if we do, we probably have won or wildly have lost. So I like bringing out the 4 Seasoned Pyromancers for, again, the 2 Go for the Throat and the 2 Extinction Event against Mono Green. The next most popular deck, the 4th most popular deck, is the Sultai Ramp-ish Emergent Ultimatum Tutor Yorion deck. Against that deck, we're siding in our 3 Duresses. And I'm also a fan of siding the Chandra Hope's Beacon because we do have a couple cards in our deck that are like kind of bad against this deck. And we're going to be siding in the 2 Go for the Throats. So that is 7 cards. We're going to be bringing out our 4 Fatal Push. It's really important to bring out these 4 Fatal Push because Fatal Push doesn't kill anything in the Sultai deck. We're going to be bringing out 1 Molten Impact because Molten Impact rarely kills anything in the Sultai deck. And we're going to bring out 2 Seasoned Pyromancer. Generally, we aren't playing super mid-range. If the game goes long, they have a much more powerful top end, so we're just trying to kill them as fast as possible. So 4 Fatal Push, 1 Molten Impact, and -2 Seasoned Pyromancer, 4 3 Duress, 2 Go for the Throat, and 2 Chandra Hope's Beacon against the Sultai Yorion deck, or Sultai Ramp, I guess you'd call it. The 5th most popular deck is the Izzet Wizards deck. Against Izzet Wizards, I like bringing in Brotherhood End. That's 2 Brotherhood End and the 2 Go for the Throats. Just to have as much removal as possible because it's kind of like a prowess deck. And I like removing the 4 Thoughtseizes so that we don't just get aggroed out. So plus 2 Brotherhood End and 2 Go for the Throats for the 4 Thoughtseizes. Pretty clean 4-card sideboard. The 6th most popular deck is Red-Black Reanimator for Atraxa, playing on Burial Rites. Against this deck, we are bringing in the 2 Unlicensed Hearse to make sure they can never reanimate, and then they're just a worse mid-range deck than us. And we're going to be bringing out 2 Kroxa. Otherwise, we are already set up to be a strong mid-range deck. I don't see any reason to bring in other mid-range cards. I like bringing in the 2 Go for the Throat over 2 of the Fatal Push because Fatal Push loses some stock when they're trying to reanimate Atraxa. Sometimes we'll get in a situation where they tap out to reanimate Atraxa and they just get to remove Atraxa and then kill them. But it's also important to keep some number of Fatal Push in for Bloodtithe Harvester, for Priest of Fell Rites, for Crucius, etc., etc. So -2 Fatal Push, -2 Kroxa, +2 Go for the Throat, and +2 Unlicensed Hearse for Red-Black Reanimator. The 7th most popular deck is Red-White Creativity / Transmogrify, going into Atraxa and Sarah's Emissary. Against this deck, obviously, Duress is amazing. Generally, against Creativity and Transmogrify decks, I'm not looking to remove the stuff. I'm looking to aggro them out and, like, really strongly attack their hand. But they also go super wide with, like, Legion's Landing and Skrelv's Hive and Wedding Announcement. So we're also going to be bringing in Brotherhood End to kind of wipe their board, and Knight of Soul's Betrayal. so they never have anything to transmogrify or creativity. So again, 3 Duress, 2 Brothers of Den, and Knight of Soul's Betrayal. That's 6 cards. We're going to be bringing out 3 Shieldred. Not that Shieldred is bad against the deck, but I want to always be able to discard a 3-mana spell with Crucius and always be able to get Knight of Soul's Betrayal. If we do that, the only way they can combo is off Fable the Mirror Breaker, and I'm okay with that. That being said, removal is pretty bad, but if we keep in removal, I'd like to keep an instant speed removal, so I like taking out the Molten Impact, so that's 4 cards. I like taking out the Go for the Throat, because Go for the Throat can't hit Skrelv's Hive tokens. That's 5 cards. And I think Shaven on a Season Pyromancer is pretty fine, because they're really trying to go super quick with you, and like, you know, it's unlikely the game's going to go super, super long. We'd rather be casting Crucius and discarding these 3-mana cards. So plus 3 Duress, plus 2 Brothers' End, plus 1 Knight of Soul's Betrayal, minus 3 Shieldred, minus 1 Molten Impact, minus 1 Go for the Throat, and minus 1 Siege and Pyromancer against Transmogrify Creativity. The 8th most popular deck is Azorius Auras. Against the Azorius Auras deck, I like bringing in Extinction Event just so like we have just more removal, because it's really important that they don't just kill us out of nowhere. Similarly, I like bringing in Go for the Throat, again, just that extra removal. And we're going to be bringing out some of the slower cards because they are just like super, super, super fast. We're bringing out 4 Season Pyromancer for, again, 2 Extinction Event, 2 Go for the Throat against Blue-White Auras. The 9th most popular deck is against the Blue-White Artifact and Soul Artifact deck. Against this deck, I'm a fan of Brothers of Den for the Destroy All Artifacts with mana value 3 or less, and I'm a fan of Shatterstorm. So we're bringing in 3 cards, and we're going to be bringing in directly for Shieldred, because, again, similarly for the Knight of Soul's Betrayal situation, I want to always be able to discard a 3-mana spell to Crucius and be able to hit Shatterstorm, because Shatterstorm just wins us the game. So in 3, out 3, very simple. And the 10th most popular deck in Historic is Blue-White Control. Against Blue-White Control, we're bringing in 3 Duress, and we are bringing in 2 Chandra Hopespeakin', 5-card sideboard. And we're going to be bringing out removal, right? So we're bringing out 4 Fatal Push, and we're going to be bringing out 1 Go for the Throat. Fatal Push basically only hits Wandering Emperor tokens. Go for the Throat, you know, is just like a clean removal spell. Molten Impact at least hits Planeswalkers. Shieldred Edict is good against Planeswalkers. And Heartless Act, you know, is just going to exist in our deck, and hopefully it'll be good somehow. Maybe it'll hit a Shard token or something. And that is, so again, 2 Chandra Hopespeakin' and 3 Duress, 4 Fatal Push, and 1 Go for the Throat. That's how we sideboard against Blue-White Control. So there you have it. That's how I sideboard with Black-Red Midrange in Historic. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.